Hey, what is up guys, it's Jay-Z here and welcome back for another Godfall build video. Today we will be looking at a new build for Greyhawk that I have been working on for a while now. It took a lot of experimenting for this build to be as good as it is. I had to test a lot of items, but I can finally got the best soul shatter build that I can for him. This build can do both Lightbringer with greater curses and be able to finish towers without boons as well. So let's go straight into the build. Now first for the weapons. There are lots of primary weapons that you can choose from. The one that I really liked using was the red dragon tail. The primal version of this polearm is crazy strong and it works great for this build. Polearms in general work great for this build as you'll be able to fill up the enemy's entire soul shatter build up in a very large radius. Then it's very easy to either use your heavy attacks to shatter them or use your southern technique. The one strongest weapon you can use for this build is the Wanderer's Ambition. This weapon can pump out so much damage that it's absolutely insane. The reason why I would place this as a second option is because you take extra damage. Whenever any item says you take plus any percentage of damage, it will reduce the resistances by that much amount. Here you can see what my resistances are. And then after adding this ring, you can see how all my resistances get reduced. So that's why only use Wanderer's Ambition if you are confident in your gameplay. For the secondary weapon, it's best to keep the longsword sheath. We will be focusing on getting overhealth from crits, so it's a good weapon to have handy. Other weapons that also work really well for this build is the Hand of Elias, Akahim's Fan, Storm Flayers, Retribution, Eclipse. There are lots you can choose from, so experiment with whatever suits your playstyle. You can see here that even if the weapon is still cursed and not upgraded at all, it still does really great damage. Also, since you do a lot of soul shatter build-up and damage, the elemental spawn from Retribution also do great. Now let's move on to the other gear pieces. The amulet is one of the most important items you need. It's one of the new cursed amulet, Requiem of the Bear. We get a massive amount of soul shatter build-up if we keep up augment power 90 or below. For the charm, we are using the Lion's Talisman. This is one of the important pieces as well, as we will need our weapon tick charged as fast as we can. For the rings, we are using Zoe's Embrace. This will be one of the main sources of our overhealth gain. Since we will mostly use dual blades for this build, Zoe's Embrace will always work better in those situations. You could use Eye of the Dragon if you aren't using dual blades. For the second ring, we are using the Dustlord's Signet. This will expose the weak points upon inflicting ailments. For the Lifestone, we are using the Archon's Tear. For the banner, we are using the Mesa's Bandrol. Now let's take a look at the augments. The first augment we are getting is Absorption. This one augment is all you need to make sure you get your Archon Fury charged really fast. Mostly all enemies will drop Archon Fury charges when killed, and the higher your Archon Fury charge speed, the more Archon Fury meter will charge whenever you pick up those charges. The next one is dependent on if you are using a fire DPS weapon. The polearm that I am showcasing for this build only drops in fire DPS. This augment will greatly increase your ignite power, so if you have a fire weapon, I highly encourage you to use this. Otherwise, I suggest you use Ruin to charge up your polarity since you will be soul shattering almost all the time. Then we are using Void Shell. This is also one of the important ones. Without this, you won't be able to gain overhealth fast enough to stay alive. Iron Heart for more crit chance. The higher the crit chance, the better. Then we are using Twilight Bloom. This will greatly increase your weapon take damage and it's mostly important for this build. The primal version will be even better. Then for the last might augment, we are using Focus for more overhealth gain. Then we have Scourge. It will always good to have your shield charged so you can knock down enemies if you find yourself surrounded. For the most important augment we are using the dual blades is to have Force Barrier. Without this, you will just keep getting tossed around too many times. The last augment is the Divine Conduit. Since you'll be getting hit most of the time and tanking damage thanks to the Force Barrier, you will keep getting the Archon Fury charge speed with this as well. Here is a look at the skill tree. I do suggest going even 1 point into Polarity. Polarity deals soul shatter damage. Since you will be using your polearm and doing soul shatter build-up in a very large radius, the Polarity attack is an easy way to shatter everything around you. Here is a look at the essential powers that I use. Now let's take a look at the stat sheet. I did myriad experiments for this build to do the best soul shatter buildup and damage. I found that you really don't need any more soul shatter buildup other than that one amulet that we are using. Whether it's floor 1 or floor 30, all mobs get their full soul shatter buildup within one weapon tick. So there is no need to go any higher than what your amulet will offer. It's best to spec more into weak point damage rather than getting more soul shatter buildup. With dual blades, all enemies basically die as soon as you hit their weak points. That's it for the build, guys. This surely is one of the strongest builds in the game. I have made it so you can survive all the way to floor 30 and be able to do Lightbringer with it as well. Hope you guys enjoyed. Comment down below what you guys all thought of it and what weapons you'll be using for this build. I look forward to hearing from you all. I will catch you all next time.